Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of Pointing to the Cross. And today's topic is fellowship and suffering. In Philippians chapter 3 and verse 10, Paul said this about Jesus. He said, "That I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings." Now Paul mentions that he wants to know the fellowship of his sufferings. Now what I don't think that Paul is saying here is that Paul enjoys suffering or that he just can't wait to do some suffering. Jesus didn't look forward to suffering and shame. If you'll remember the prayer in Gethsemane, Jesus said, "Father, if it be your will, let this cup pass from me." So I don't think that that's what Paul is saying, that he enjoys suffering. So what is he saying? Well, I think you got to look to two words there in that phrase. And the first word is know. That word in the Greek is gnosko, which is an experiential knowledge, not a head knowledge. It's one that you experience. And then that word fellowship in the Greek is koinonia, which means a partnership. So what I think Paul is saying is that he desires someone to fellowship with in the midst of suffering. Someone who understands, someone who's empathetic, not just sympathetic. And Jesus is that person that he seeks fellowship with in those times. Let me see if I can demonstrate this on a human level. When my dad passed away, I had a coaching friend who attended the graveside service. Now usually only family and really close friends of the family attend that graveside service. And we weren't particularly close at that time, but we were friends. But you see, his dad had recently passed away. And I believe that's why he was there. You see, all he did was show up. He didn't have to do anything special. He didn't have to say anything special. But he was there because he had just experienced what I was experiencing at that moment. He was empathetic. And without saying or doing anything, he comforted me in my time of grief. And I'll tell you this, he gained a friend for life that day. Jesus is our empathetic friend who has experienced the same sufferings as we have. The book of Hebrews in chapter 4 tells us that we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, but was in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin. But look at what he says here. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Jesus then wants you to know that he understands your suffering. He's been there, he's done that. And he wants you to know today that you have a friend for life that you can fellowship with in the midst of your sufferings. What a great truth. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.